Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the initiative Saturdays for Sustainability Learning, where every Saturday we connect and discuss sustainability related topics and issues. And this is a place which is non judgmental discussion happens. So you are all welcome to share your insights, share your whatever you think. So please feel free to discuss. And the goal of this session is meant to have a discussion to understand sustainability issues in a holistic manner. Holistic understanding is something that we would like to pursue through this 1 hour, 45 minutes. So in short, I'll just within 2 minutes, I'll explain about this initiative and then we will directly go to today's topic. So this group is nothing but a mastermind group. It's a concept of synergy where 1 plus 1 is not just two, but there are infinite possibilities of learning, infinite possibilities of collaborating. So that is something that we want to explore as a group, to connect with each one and to brainstorm on these different topics and arrive at some better conclusion, better understanding with the help of each other. So that is something, the goal that we have. And what are the four outcomes that you can envision in the session? So definitely one thing is learning a new concept, learning a new way of looking at things every week, every Saturday, networking, understanding people from different, let's say, geographic or educational background. It's wonderful to have the insights of other people with their experience as well. Third is different opportunities, that is learning opportunities or career opportunities. And the fourth, the outcome you can envision is that is a thought leadership. So in sustainability, as it is a dynamic field, every day something new coming up. So it's very difficult for a single person to stay up to date to up to date to all these things that are happening. But it's absolutely possible if as a group we share with each other what we learn or what new things are coming. So it's become easier for all of us to stay together and to stay updated. So that is the main aim of this initiative. And what we do is, again, I'll request you all. So this initiative is for discussion. It's not just for knowledge sharing, or it's not just for information sharing. Discussion is very important. Question and answers are important. So please feel free to ask any question, anything you want to share. Please go ahead. This is non-judgmental group. And second, I firmly believe that in today's time, we have a lot of data and information available. We just need to go to Google and search it. But something that we lack today is the knowledge and the application, the wisdom part of it. So that is something which can only come with experience or with the discussion part. So that is something we will try to explore in this session. And as you already joined this session, so either you have registered to this Google form and you might have received the calendar invite or WhatsApp group. So either way, if you want to stay connected, you can join WhatsApp group. Otherwise, you can stay in the calendar invite as well. No problem. All right. So with this short introduction, let me just quickly tell you what we are going to discuss today. So it's week 37 for us, and today there was one webinar. I'll just quickly share that as well. Just a minute. Yeah, so I hope you can see my screen changing, right? So there was one webinar arranged on AI and ML, that is artificial intelligence and machine learning for environment, sustainability, and governance. So governance majorly they discuss with ESG part. So I attended this workshop, this webinar, and I guess some of our team members who have joined today, they have also attended this. And just we will discuss what were the key insights shared in this webinar, and you can also add if I miss anything. Okay, so I'll just quickly share in just 5 to 10 minutes what was the discussion over there, and then later on we will open it for discussion. Okay. But please, meanwhile, feel free to add your perspective. If there is anything you want to add, please go ahead. All right. So this webinar, the guest speaker was Mr. Anu Khandelwal, who was the CEO of Cognitensor. So that's an artificial intelligence the organization which works as a expert into AI and the computer softwares that they develop. So initial discussion was with the use of artificial intelligence and the concept of sustainable development and SDGs, the Paris Agreement. So the discussion started with that. And the first question was, as AI, artificial intelligence, and ESG are being buzzwords. So how can we understand it? So yeah, sustainability and ESG are important because of every year the COP summits are there. Climate change is reality that we are all are appreciating and we are seeing in the world. So with that we started, and then the guest speaker presented the pre presentation PPT. It started with the concept of ESG net zero, uh, measuring carbon emissions and the carbon neutrality. Then he discussed about the evolution of ESG in India. And one of the point that came was India is much ahead compared to other countries with the ESG or sustainability. And as BRSR is mandatory for all listed companies, so that is one motive for them. And other than that, non-listed companies are also driven by supply chain or investors or other, let's say, their customers. So, so in a way, all organizations are opting for the BRSR or sustainability reporting. So that's important. So in this way, ESG is evolving. Then next topic was discuss about GSG emissions, greenhouse gases emissions, the scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3. Being scope 1 and scope 2 combined having only 10% of contribution, but scope 3, which is having 90% of contribution, and it talks about across value chain, upstream and downstream. And here we comes with the greater question: how do we reduce the emission? So some of the options were discussed were RE, renewable energy sources. So that will have major impact on the scope 1. Then organizational improvements like some design changes or the packaging improvements, setting sustainability KRAs. So majorly scope 2 could be tackled, or scope 1 and scope 2 could be tackled with that. Then technological advancement like AI and ML, and that we'll discuss in detail. Behavioral aspects like mission life that India has put forth, that is lifestyle for environment, which is one. Second is reduce, reuse, the principles that we can adopt. And last one was awareness. So how do we make sure that all people are aware in our organization? So that is a one way to reduce the emissions as well. Then he suggested 3D approach for the ESG, that is 3D approach. First is digitalization, so data flow management. In short, putting all the information that we have from paper to digital medium. Second was decentralization, data handling, democratization. So all people in the organization have the access to data, so they can see and they can work with it. And the last was decarbonization. Third D, which is carbon reduction steps were discussed, and that way we can reduce the carbon emissions. And what this 3D, that is digitalization and decarbonization with the help of technology, one of the outcome is real-time monitoring and tracking. So how much emissions we are having and how we can reduce it, how much it has reduced, so that we can track and we can see, visualize it with the real time. And later on, the discussion on data analytics and artificial intelligence was there, as why AI, artificial intelligence, uh, why currently it's a time for AI. So maybe regulatory pressures are there, accountability or sustainability issues are there. Benefits of the AI in ESG space. So that was discussed, and I found this slide as interesting. So that's why I'm sharing with you. So artificial intelligence, the orange one are target inhibited by AI. So maybe if we improve on AI or implement AI, so these targets are inhibited, and other on the other hand, green are the targets enabled by AI. So this one, I guess this is from the report Springer Nature Sustainability Community. So from that they have taken, but on the basis of it, one outcome that comes is, so target, more of the target are enabled by AI, and what are the inhibited, we can work around it and we can see how we can reduce the inhibitions or the issues that AI is posing for the sustainable development goals. So this was discussed, and the later part, which was interesting, was steps. So in the stepwise manner, how AI can help is first is measure. I'm sorry for the spelling mistake. So measure and define, then identify and prioritize. Multiple issues will be there. So how do we identify the controllable ones or the on priority which we can take? Then set achievable target, turn insight into action, and then at the last report and invest. So they suggested that they have one software, sustain 3p, which can be used to track all these and help organizations uh, to make sure that they can use all this data and implement their reduction targets and all. All right. So after this PPT, what was discussed, there are some questions. And one of the prerequisite for the artificial intelligence or machine learning is huge data or metadata that we talk about. So that can be collected and analyzed in a given time frame for better decisions. So that is possible because of artificial intelligence. Is it happening or it's just theory? So one point came from the discussion was, yes, it is happening now, and the best example can be Digital India, which is already in practice, and that can be done in practice for any other organization or industry as well. And one example was shared as collecting data for at least, let's say, 12 months can generate the valuable insights. For example, water consumption for the 12 months, if tracked, the data is available. Then on 13th month, we can get the alert if whether that water consumption has increased or reduced or it is same, and the necessary alerts can be initiated with the artificial intelligence. So in this way, it can be used. Uh, Next question was how AI can bring in stakeholder engagement and transparency in the ESG. So as we all know, stakeholder engagement is one of the key part of ESG, especially in scope 3 emissions. If we check uh, across all value chain, all vendors are required to work together. So in that way, artificial intelligence can help us. Next was ethics in life and business. So that's required. But what about AI? How do we consider the ethical issues? So some of the issues with AI are data privacy, and it's a sensitive subject, but AI can be trained to avoid biases. So that is the expectation or the requirement that we have. So to bring in the transparency in decision making. But yes, this is the issue with artificial intelligence currently. And last is opportunities in AI, opportunities for AI developers, businesses, and policymakers to work together. Yeah, so it was agreed with the experts that we all need to work together, co-design and setting industry standards and best practices. So working together is the necessity to evolve this AI for environment and sustainability. So this was in short was discussed, and the last closing remarks were, as artificial intelligence is impacting our daily life, we all need to be cautious. And they shared one example that even assignments in the colleges are being used with are completed with the AI help, but ultimately human touch is essential. So however AI evolves, a human intelligence or human wisdom cannot be replaced. Human intervention will always be required, at least at the end, to test the output that is generated from artificial intelligence or machine learning. And in that way, we can use the AI properly. So that was in all for the webinar that I attended, and even some of our participants have also attended. So if you want to add anything, please. What were your takeaways from the session? Deepak, I guess
Yeah,
you
I mean, pretty much very well summarized, Dhananjay. I think your explanation was even better than, uh, I think, Dr. Anoop. So, but yeah, I mean, see, even I have very little understanding about this AI and ML. But at a very high level, the message is that going forward, AI and ML tool will be used to make our job easier in terms of ESG and sustainability, whether it is reporting, whether it is GHG calculation, or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
But I attended this session with the hope that I will get some demo around one or two tools,
Mm-hmm.
that how these tool works. So maybe in some other session we'll see that how these tools
Yeah,
actually works.
sure, sure. Uh, yeah, thanks a lot. So we will also explore, and do let me know if you came across any expert we can invite and they can share to all. That
I
would.
was doing some research on this, that
Mm-hmm.
that, okay, a lot of organization have actually come up with a lot
Mm-hmm.
of these tools, whether it
Mm-hmm.
is AI, ML, or some data specific, be it
Right,
Microsoft, be it IBM, or small startups which are coming up, right?
right.
But my interest is to hands on all these tools. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
again, I am also searching for it, if
Mm-hmm.
get some chance to work on these tools, to do the
Sure.
calculation, to create a report maybe.
Mhm. Sure, sure, sure. And I'm also discussing it with one of the founder of one startup actually. So they are launching their portal on 22nd of April. And
Okay.
yeah, so he will be coming to the session.
Oh,
Just
wow.
we are checking with his availability. So he will be explaining how that portal works and how scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 emissions can be tracked, and organizations can present their work in that portal as well. So
Yeah.
definitely we will seek more expert. But in short, if we want to discuss today's topic, that artificial intelligence and machine learning, so anybody would like to comment anything, and you're free to speak in, let's say, Hindi or English. That's fine.
Maybe I can go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm getting
please,
some
please. Yeah,
thoughts. So I think this AI and ML, wherever there is data, right, this technology will automatically comes in. And
right,
that's what we are seeing in ESG and sustainability reporting and GHG. That earlier we were focusing on the financial statement, the data related to the balance sheet, cash flow, or something else. But now any type of data, carbon emission, water consumption, electricity usage. So all this data now, organization is data is already there, but now it has to be captured in a structured manner. And I think Dr. Anup rightly said, once the machine or the system has the data for last 12 months, 18 months, then this machine learning, automatically comes into the picture. They will read the data, they will trigger the point, okay, something is going wrong, you have to do this. And then of course accordingly companies can take the action. But
perfect.
uh, the point is, the big organization which have budgets, they can easily buy this software, right? These are pretty, I'm sure this must be pretty expensive software, I
Right,
don't know the costing. But the challenge which everyone is facing right now in this industry is, what about the small and medium sized
right.
enterprise?
Mhm.
They even don't have the data, they are not collecting the data, and then how these software and tools will help them, because again there is a cost behind that. But as
Right,
you said, your one of your partner will come into this session. Maybe you can ask this, that how their software and application will help small and medium sized enterprise.
right. Agree, agree. That is a big question actually, and data collection and data management is very essential because in computer language it's called as garbage in, garbage out, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so whatever the quality of data that we are feeding to the system, so the kind of result that we will get, they are very much highly correlated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Aditya, you want to share something, please?
Yeah, actually, as far as Sustain 3P software or the ESG platform is concerned,
Hmm.
it's like very good software for ESG related disclosures and reports. There are also some GPTs which are being made. Like if you would be aware about the custom GPTs being made in
Right,
ChatGPT Pro version. So there are some GPTs, custom GPTs, which are trained specifically on the basis of what to say. From the reports of the IPCC and UN and World Resources Institutes. From those references, these GPTs are trained and can also be trained on the disclosures which are being released. This has be TCFD or the
right,
BRSR guidelines. These
hmm,
GPTs can also be trained on those guidelines so that you know people don't need to get basically. basically these GPTs will give you the guidelines and disclosure information o- on the tip of your finger. So
Right.
these GPTs are also being helpful for ESG related issues.
Yeah, agree. And just I guess last week I had attended one artificial intelligence webinar. So in that they had explained what is artificial intelligence and artificial. There are two types: artificial general intelligence and artificial narrow intelligence. And out of that, there was means they differentiated what is AI and what is ML. So difference between that. And then again, one part of ML is deep learning. So what I could get from the that webinar was so whatever GPT that we are talking about, so that is the one application of artificial intelligence, that is generative AI. Uh, so in generative AI, such kind of let's say data can be analyzed and then it can give us the results that we want. So what I guess Aditya was saying, so for such kind of generative AI, we can feed in the required resources or reports instead of relying it on the open source data. We can feed in the proper, let's say I want the latest IPCC reports to be included into that AI model. So I can design that and accordingly it can give us the results that we want, right, Aditya?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Oh, this is good insight. GPT.
Mhm.
Okay. And Aditya, from your knowledge or experience, let's say if I have to create an ESG report for one particular company, organization, small, medium, whatever it is. So these GPT can help me out in creating the entire report.
Actually, I haven't personally used the custom GPTs. I don't have access to that. I haven't purchased the pro version. But yeah,
Okay.
as per my
Mhm.
knowledge, the chat GPT, the custom GPTs which are being made, there are data custom GPTs for data analysis too. So it's high chance that we can train the GPT as per our need for, let's say, for ESG report making. So this Sustain 3P is one of its kind software. Even these like this software is made in such a way, like ChatGPT has their own AI model. So Sustain 3P software would be having their own model, or maybe they would have partnered with any AI model company. So these GPTs, generative AI GPTs, can be trained basically for specific needs. Yeah, they can make ESG reports if trained well in those manner. Apart from that, recently you might be knowing that Nvidia launched their own AI chatbot, that is the RTX chat. So other GPTs like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Gemini from Google, and Claude, these are website-based GPTs. But the one which Nvidia launched, it is basically solely on dependent on your graphic processing unit, the GPUs which are used in the laptops or the CPUs. So along with CPUs, so you can download this GPT without any internet connection. You can use this basically AI in your laptop. On You can run it on your laptop or computer and train it as per your need, as per your data. You don't have that privacy issue which is being faced in the website wala GPTs. So even this one is something new coming up, because big companies which have as you mentioned that the large they are having large amount of like infrastructure and funding, so they can afford such kind of softwares. But for the MSMEs which need
Yes.
such a kind of access to such kind of softwares, they can use such initiatives like the Nvidia which Nvidia launched. So it's free for download for everyone. Just requires some infrastructure, like the specific GPUs and RAM specifications which are needed for running this software. Rest all you can feed your data on your own devices, and you can train as per your need. So yeah, it can give you the responses as per your need.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thanks, Aditya. This is very useful.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Aditya. This was really helpful. Yeah, just I would like to add one point over here. So training generative AI, actually that is a difficult part. Means the issue is it requires huge computing power, and it's very much a trial and error part. So the workshop that I had attended with AI, so in that they have shown us how we can create our own generative AI. So they have given one example. So let's say when we talk about a dog, so any random dog will, let's say we are talking about a photograph of a dog. Okay. So when we say dog, so it will show any kind of dog. But I want to train the the generative AI model. If I say a dog, that will show my dog's picture. So that can be possible, and they showed us how to do that. So they have to train the AI is basically on based on data, huge amount of data. So they will feed in the data, they will describe it, and accordingly that can understand that okay, so when we say dog, so that will correspond to the dog's photo that we have uploaded to the generative AI model, and that's how it can give us the customized answer or customized photograph of our dog. But all this process requires huge computing power, and at the same time it's time processing. So that was one of the limitation that they have shared. Yes, Aditya, please.
That's what NVIDIA is trying to address.
Mhm.
As you said that ChatGPT, Gemini, these are using NVIDIA and similar kind of companies, semiconductor chips for high
Mhm.
computing power, uh, which are working behind the generative AI. But
Mhm.
NVIDIA is trying to address that thing.
Right.
That's why they launched this RTX chat, so that you can run the AI and train that AI on your laptop or device itself. You won't need that high computing power which is needed for uh, basically training the generative AI, Gemini and ChatGPT. You can train model for yourself, and as far as the need is concerned, like the
Mhm.
responses are concerned, it totally depends on how you're prompting the AI. So if you are prompting in such a way that you need an ESG report, like if you have trained it in a specific manner, if you have prompted it in a specific manner, why won't it give you those results? So prompt engineering is a big skill
Yeah.
which is really helpful in these times.
Yeah. So no one in the past might have thought that prompt engineering would be a branch or a specialization, right? So it's great. And just one quick question for all. So just for our brainstorming, maybe. What is the difference between AI and ML, artificial intelligence and machine learning? Any quick thoughts that you want to share, please?
I can give it a shot,
Yeah,
although
sure.
I'm a non-technical person.
Yeah, sure.
So machine learning, I believe, is that uh, we are, I mean, not we, but machine is being trained on the data. I mean, so some models maybe, I mean, data is required to do some work, and machine, bases the data which we feed into the system. So machine picks up some algorithm, and that machine worked on and built some models, maybe a predictive model or something like that.
Right.
AI, I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe you can explain.
Yeah. Uh,
Any,
anybody would like to try? I'll just read from my notes, okay? So that's not my competency, but still. So actually, the difference between so machine learning is a part of AI. So if we draw a Venn diagram, so bigger will be AI, that is artificial intelligence. So it's nothing but science of creation of intelligent machines. So you provide some, let's say, algorithms to it, programs to it. So artificial intelligence is nothing but you programmed it in such a way that it gives you result. And one of the key feature of AI is a huge computational power. But at the same time, if we talk about machine learning, so that is one step ahead of artificial intelligence in a way that you don't need to explicitly program it. For example, in artificial intelligence, let's say we take an example of, let's say, calculator. So we have programmed it in such a way that 1 plus 1 equals to 2. So that is fit into it as a AI, artificial intelligence. But in machine learning, that will we will need to provide some data to it, and through its own analysis it will analyze the cases, and that's how it will come to a conclusion that okay, 1 plus 1 equals to 2, and that's how it can learn with the kind of data we provide to it. So we are not explicitly programming that system, but we are giving the machine ability to react uh, with reference to the data that we provide. So that is a small difference between AI and ML. I hope I could explain it.
Yes, at a high level, yes.
Yeah. And yes, I guess I can see something in chat. Let me just quickly. Okay, so there are some custom GPTs available on Chat GPT Pro version. Definitely, so that is good to try. And on let's say 30,000 feet view, if you would ask me the role of artificial intelligence and machine learning in sustainability, so one thing is very clear that earlier, let's say if you go back to a 50, 100 years, the benefit of doubt was given to the organization because they were saying that we don't know. For example, let's say they are polluting the river, they are polluting the water, and somehow that water is reaching downstream and people are getting affected. So maybe there are some heavy metals or some pollutant carcinogens are there, and the people are getting affected due to it, but somehow we were not able to capture it. So that was the biggest issue. So we are just taking one example of pollution, but with the help of artificial intelligence and all the data, huge data that getting available, getting digitalized, and at the same time getting the computational power that we currently have with artificial intelligence, we will be able to see the correlations between it. We can understand, so okay, because of this effluent or because of this pollutant, this kind of diseases, or only why this kind of disease is only happening in this area, this belt, though the water, let's say, earlier used to be a good quality. So what are the external factors? So in this way, artificial intelligence can serve us better in let's say quickness of analyzing the different data, and then we can act according to it as well. So this is just one example, but it can be applicable to different aspects of the organization, of the different operations of the organization, whether it is in terms of energy consumption or the different pollutants or different elements that are being used. So it can be applicable to multiple use cases. So one of the benefit is the application and the understanding of the insights from all these data points. What do you think about it? So I see that is the one of the best application of AI. Any other point?
That's true. I can't agree more about on your opinion, because as far as AI is concerned in ESG sector, yeah, definitely. If we can train AI, like by feeding space, like various issues which we as professionals are facing in this sector,
Hmm.
we can I think so we can generate like solutions from AI, for not only just for the sake of generating the ESG reports for specific disclosures, but
Hmm.
if we feed in data regarding various climate change issues, then definitely it can form strategies. Like if we give a prompt to AI, let's suppose we are prompting it to give strategy to mitigate materiality related issues,
Hmm.
then it will give us a strategy in terms of like what we could say, uh, on a vague basis. Right
Right.
now the AI is in developing level. Okay, so
Hmm.
it might sound at times it's vague, but in coming future it will it's gonna strategize whole mind map. If we prompt it regularly and train it accordingly, it might give us the mind map, as basically whatever the strategy we are expecting from it can give it in
Yeah.
coming future.
Yes, absolutely. And I've seen actually application of AI and ML in even sustainability. So if you know, there are cloud services, right? So let's say if we take example of Amazon, uh, so Amazon cloud services. So they have a dashboard where they can see how much emissions are, let's say, which part is contributing to which emission, which let's say energy source, let's say whether it is renewable energy source or from gasoline or from let's say conventional energy sources. So which is a contribution and how that is being used, and accordingly they can switch the uh, energy source. So that is being actively being done in cloud services. So that is one application of AI practically being done.
One
And
question, Dhananjay,
yes,
maybe
yeah,
you
yeah.
or Aditya. So for a person, right, who does not have any technical background, right,
Mhm.
how easy or convenient is for them to understand this AI, Chat GPT, and basically the usage of all these tools? Is it like that they can also learn and execute it, or is it that they need to rely on some technical person and only then they can do the work?
Mhm.
Well, to answer your question, see, AI is something which everyone is trying to learn in this time, because it is not the future, it is the present. Right now we have to adapt ourselves as per the AI. So that's why prompt engineering is such a skill which needs, like, the modern professional, the present professionals working in industry. They need to learn this skill of prompt engineering, because unless and until you don't learn AI, won't be able to sustain in this field. So it's not the matter that you are from a non-technical background or any other background. You can learn AI. There are many tutorials. Basically, how to. It's not that difficult. It's basically like you are dealing with a child. See, if when a child is like, let's say you have a child, okay, you want to teach him, or you want him to learn something. You Let's say you want him to learn how to walk. So how in what steps will you try to teach him how to walk? So AI is something kind of that child. AI, you if you prompt him accordingly, he will learn. He or she, the AI will learn. Okay. So it's like that. As far as generative AI is concerned, if you are giving it the instructions as per your expectations, like as per your needs, so it might act in a different manner, but it will try to cope up with your instructions. It At some point of time, it will give you results as you're expecting from it. So it's not that difficult. Just have to experiment it with it, and just play with it. Just be playful with it. It will be fun for you. Not that difficult.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agree. Thanks a lot, Aditya. Uh, I'll I agree with Aditya actually. So there is not any as such requirement of technical expertise to use AI. It's very simple example like calculator or the laptop that you use, right? Or mobile phone that you use. So we are not, let's say, technical in IT or computer to use all these, right? So we just learn to use the tools. So in the same way, artificial intelligence is also there. So we just need to uh, learn how to use it. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. And I mean, follow-up question again.
Hmm.
So when you say AI, use AI, right, and play with AI, so you're saying Chat GPT or some other GPT as well, or is it only the Chat GPT? Because I know Chat GPT, but are there
Okay.
another software
Yeah.
tools available with which we can play?
Many.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
there are many, so many. Like, many are
One.
on the basis of
Hmm.
ChatGPT. They use ChatGPT as a source, the OpenAI AI models as a source of their AI. Many tools in the market, they are on the basis of ChatGPT. But
Okay.
yeah, Gemini, Google has its own Gemini. You might have seen the labs, Google Labs on your Google account. Whenever you open a Chrome browser, you might see a beaker kind of an icon alongside your Gmail wala,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
we
right,
say.
right, right,
Yeah.
right, right.
So it's kind of an experiment by Google, the Gemini, which is competitor to the OpenAI's ChatGPT. So you basically, what Google is trying to do, it's trying to integrate its Gemini AI model with all of its applications. Let's say, yeah. So this is Gemini. It has a Pro version too, and that Pro version in coming times they are integrating it with the Google Docs, Google Sheets, Gmail. It has already integrated with the YouTube wala part, so that they can train the AI on the YouTube videos which we are scrolling. So in the coming times, the digital marketing scenario is going to change just because of AI. Because till now the marketing wala scenario, we what they used to do, the marketing professionals, they used to collect data on the basis of our preferences, but now AI will do for it for them. So AI will automate everything. So you can basically, like, there's a whole lot of what we could say, there's an ocean of AI, and we just know a drop of it. So that's what I can say. There are many models, like as compared to ChatGPT. There's Claude, there's Blackbox.ai, then there's Perplexity, and there's this Gemini, which Dhananjay is sharing on his screen. So these are various models, and even Nvidia wala is the latest one.
Okay. No, thanks. I mean,
Yeah, and one
my,
of the best I could find is Google Gemini, because I'll just show you one demonstration. Okay. So as you can see on the screen, so this is a prompt engineering. Okay. So you need to give proper prompt to receive proper answer
correct,
or
correct.
the use for your particular purpose. So let's say I am giving this prompt. Okay. So how to reduce scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3 emissions for automobile sector. So I have just given these details. So as you can see, they have given a detailed answer for scope 1, scope 2, scope 3 emissions, how to do it, a point-wise manner, and also 3 drafts are also shared. So I guess for this case, they have shared 2 drafts only. Okay. So draft 1 and draft 2. So it will give some options as well. So sometimes it shows 3 as well, but for this case, they have shared the 2. So in this way, you can give a better prompt. So as per your prompt, you will get the answer. And the GPT, that is generative AI, there are multiple options. So as you are using chat gpt, so that is text version, so you will get a better, let's say, only a text details over there. But there are many other gpts which will give you images, or which will give you even artworks. Let's say if I want a painting, right, for myself. uh,
Yeah.
so if I want to do it a conventional manner, maybe 1 day, 2 day, or 5 days will be required. But GPT can produce it in a second, which is not existent as well. So you can just give it a prompt that I require this kind of painting. So it will give you.
Okay.
So such kind of advanced different generative AIs are there. Yeah, Dolly is there for image generation. So there are multiple
Is
generative.
there any particular source from where we can get all this information? Okay, if let's say I have to do this work, then which GPT I can use? What are the options available?
Just Google it.
Okay,
You,
okay, that's right.
you will get all the options.
Okay, no, no. Okay, thanks. Yeah, that I'll do.
Okay. So any final comment or points that you would like to add, please? Yes, Aditya. Yeah.
As we are discussing over AI and ESG, so you might have read about the carbon emissions from AI. So what AI, the generative AI which we are using, it has its emissions too. Uh, I don't remember the exact number amount of water which it is consuming behind every question which we are asking to AI. So basically, mitigating those issues are also important. You might have heard about Microsoft or Google having data servers, like their servers in the ocean. So even these AI models which we are talking about, which we are working on, these AI models have their own emissions, and These are basically impacting the biodiversity, the water, like biodiversity under the water. Uh, just because these server farms are stored under the ocean, so that they won't emit much, basically to cool them. So uh, under the ocean they are kept to cool them. So these are consuming large amount of water, and also impacting the biodiversity under the ocean. So we need to be careful about while using AI, because basically we should be environmentally conscious about how we are using AI. It's not that we are using AI for small things. We should be conscious about it, why we are using AI, or else there will, like, obviously there would be time when we would be totally dependent on AI. So let's be humans, let's not be robots working under AI.
Yeah,
That's what I would try
agree,
to say.
agree, completely agree. And that's why in let's say sustainability, we talk about, let's say, lifestyle for environment, right? So mission life. So that is important. The final outcome of sustainability, that as I can see, that is a minimalism, or using the resources only which is required for you. So all these are the same things that we talk. So identifying your needs and desires. So that's the same thing. Uh, but yeah, as you said, definitely. So we need to be mindful of whatever tool that we are using, and ultimately becoming more and more sustainable. So that is the only option that we have. Yeah. Yes. Okay, perfect then. So this was great discussion, and looking forward to such discussions in next week as well. Thank you so much, everyone. If you want to share anything, please, you can. I'll stop the
No,
recording now.
thanks, Dhananjay. This was very useful session. At least for me, I get to know a lot of things about
uh,
technology. Thanks,
Thank you,
Aditya.
Dhananjay.
Thanks, Aditya.
Yeah, always, anytime. Thank you, Dhananjay.